Physics, Chapter 5, Light Energy. Part 5, Spherical Mirrors by Zainab Bahori. Dear friends, this is the last part of the Chapter 5. What is meant by spherical mirrors? Let us discuss. Spherical mirrors are made by silvering a piece of glass which is a hollow sphere. Observe in the figure. The colored part, or we can say silvered surface, and the reflecting surface. Formation of spherical mirror. The surfaces on which silvering is done called silvered surface, and the surfaces where the light reflects is called as reflecting surfaces. In the concave mirror, the hollow part is the reflecting surface and bulge part is the silvered surface. While in the convex mirror, the bulge part is the reflecting surface and hollow part is the silvered surface, as represented in the figure. Let us define concave mirrors. So, concave mirror is made by silvering the outer bulge surface of the hollow sphere in such a way that reflection takes place from the hollow concave surface. You can observe in the given figure. And the images formed in this type of mirrors are inverted. The convex mirrors are the mirrors which are made by silvering the inner surfaces such that the outer bulge surface is the reflecting surface. Observe in the figure carefully. Let us discuss some important terms related to the spherical mirrors. The first term, center of curvature. Center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which mirror is a part. You can notice here in the figure this is the center of the hollow sphere out of this mirror is made. Always remember, the normal is always passing from the center of curvature. Or in the other words, we can say that a line joining to the center of curvature with any part on the curved aperture of mirror. The next is pole. The geometric center of the spherical surface of the mirror is called pole. So this is the mirror and this is the center of mirror. This center of mirror is the midpoint of the curved aperture of the mirror, and it is denoted by the letter capital P. Radius of curvature. The radius of the sphere of which mirror is a part is called radius of curvature. You can observe here and always remember, radius of curvature is nothing but the distance from the center of curvature to the any point on the surface of the mirror. This is the radius of curvature. You can observe here in this both the figures. The next term is principal axis, a straight line joining the pole of the mirror to its center of curvature is the principal axis, and it may extend on either side of the pole. Just observe here the line joining to the pole and the center of the sphere is the principal axis, and it can extend on either side. The rays of light falling on the spherical mirror parallel to its principal axis gets reflected by mirror, and these are obeying laws of reflection. The reflected rays are not parallel to each other, but they get converged toward a point in a concave mirror and diverging from point in a convex mirror. And this point is known as focus. The focus of concave mirror is a point on the principal axis at which the light rays inciding parallelly to the principal axis meets after reflection from the mirror, and it is denoted by the letter capital F. You can observe here. At this point on principal axis, all the reflected rays which are parallel to the principal axis are meeting. The focus of convex mirror is a point on the principal axis at which light rays incident parallel to the principal axis appear to meet. Actually, they are not meeting. They appear to meet after the reflection from the mirror. And this point, capital F. The distance of focus from the pole of the mirror is called as focal length of the mirror. Look at this figure. This is the focus and this distance. Focal length is half of the radius of curvature, and radius of curvature is the double of the focal length. You can prove it geometrically. Let us study now rules for making ray diagram in a spherical mirror. The first rule, object is always placed in front of the reflecting surface. The second, the object is always kept on the principal axis such that it is perpendicular to the principal axis and its foot is touching to the principal axis. And the third rule is, for constructing a ray diagram, take at least two rays of convenience whose path can trace after reflection from the mirror. To construct the image of an object due to reflection by the spherical mirror, any two of the following three rays can be constructed. Let us observe them carefully. We can use ray diagram to identify the nature and position of an image formed by the reflection from the spherical mirrors. All we need at least two light rays which are reflecting from the surfaces. And you can draw any ray diagram. A ray that passes through the center of curvature. Just observe the light ray which is passing through the center of curvature, either in the concave mirror or in the convex mirror. Let us discuss first the concave mirror. The light ray which is passing from the center of curvature is reflecting from the same path, so that angle of incidence and angle of reflection is 0. While on that of the convex mirror, the light rays gets diverged, and if they extend, they appear to pass from the center of the curvature. So remember, any ray passing through the center of curvature or directed to the center of curvature is getting reflected back along the same path. The second point, a ray that is parallel to the principal axis, when is reflecting on the concave mirror, it passes through the focus. And here angle of incidence and angle of reflection is equal. While in the convex mirror, the light ray which is parallel to the principal axis gets diverged and it appears to pass from the focus. Note this down. The next point, the ray which is passing from the focus, after reflecting it goes parallel to the principal axis. Here also angle of incidence and reflection is equal. In case of convex mirror, the light which is falling parallel to the principal axis gets diverged, and if it is extended, it appears to pass through the focus. Here angle of incidence and angle of refraction is same in both the cases. Third one, the ray which is passing through the focus gets reflected back through the concave mirror in such a way that it reflects parallel to the principal axis, and the light ray which is inciding parallel to the principal axis on the convex mirror, it appears to pass through the focus. The next important point, a ray passes through the focus when a light ray passes through the focus in concave or convex mirror. So let us see for the first concave mirror. When the light ray passes through the concave mirror, it gets reflected parallel to the principal axis, while it appears to get reflect parallel to the principal axis in the convex mirror. So let us quickly revise all the points. Any ray passing to the or directed toward the center of curvature is reflected back along the same path. Incident ray, when is parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the focus in concave mirror and it appears to pass through the focus in convex mirror. Any ray that either passes through the focus in concave mirror or appears to converge at the focus in convex mirror will be reflecting back parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it goes parallel to the principal axis, and a ray light which incident at the pole is reflecting back in accordance with the laws of reflection. In this case, principal axis is considered as a normal. So dear friends, let us study how the images are formed by concave and convex mirrors. We have to consider at least two light rays which are getting reflected from the mirrors and they are intersecting to each other in order to form images. So the first case, when object is at infinite distance from the concave mirror. The light rays which are coming from the infinite distance on the concave mirror forms a real, inverted and diminished image. The second case, when object is placed beyond the center of curvature, the light rays gets reflected and form image between the center of curvature and focus. You can observe here the light ray which is falling parallel to the principal axis gets reflected from the focus, and the light ray which is passing from the center of curvature gets reflected from the same path, and where they intersect to each other, at this point the inverted real image is formed, which is diminished image. You can compare the size of object and image. Object is bigger in size but image is smaller and inverted. Let us see the next case. When the object is placed at the center of curvature. Here the object is placed at the center of curvature. Then the light rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis gets reflected from the focus, and the light ray which is passing from the focus gets reflected parallel to the principal axis, and these rays get intersected at this point over here, and as a result the image is formed exactly down to the object below the principal axis. Once again, this is the inverted image, real image, and if you will compare the size of object and image, they both are same. When object is placed between center of curvature and focus, let us see how the image is formed. So, the light ray which is passing through the center of curvature, it goes from the same path. The incident light ray which falls parallel to the principal axis, and from the mirror when it gets reflected, it gets intersected over here with another ray. As a result, image is formed beyond the center of curvature. Once again, this is the real image, inverted image, and the image is magnified. You can compare the size of object and the image. Here object is smaller and image is bigger. So when the object is placed between the center of curvature and the focus, the image will form beyond the center of curvature. In the next case, if object is placed at the focus, so the light ray which is falling parallel to the principal axis on the mirror gets reflected back from the focus, and the light ray which is coming through the center of curvature on the surface of the mirror gets reflected back from the same path, and the point where both the light rays will get intersected, it will be very far. So here when object is placed at the focus, parallel reflected rays are formed, and image will once again form inverted, and this image will be highly magnified. This image will form far from the object. The last case. Now when the object is placed between the focus and the pole, the light ray which is coming from the center of curvature on the surface of mirror gets reflected from the same path, while the light ray which is passing from the pole gets reflected with the same angle of reflection. And here these both light rays appear to meet behind the mirror. Look how the image is formed. Yes, you are right. When object is placed between the focus and pole, the reflected rays are appearing to intersected behind the mirror. An image is formed on the mirror. Now this time the image is erect, it is virtual and magnified image. This is virtual image which is formed behind the surface of mirror. So these are the different 6 positions of object and their respective 6 positions of formation of images, and the nature of images also we have studied. Let us look a quick recap of the same. Between the center of curvature and the focal point, when object is kept, the image is inverted and it is smaller between the focus and center of curvature. When the object is kept on the center of curvature, image is formed just below the principal axis. It is same in size and inverted. When the object is placed between the center of curvature and focal point, here image is formed outside the center of curvature and it is larger, inverted. Further, when you will move the object on the focus, the reflected light rays will appear parallel without converging and they will form image at very far distance. Now, let us discuss how the images are formed by the convex mirrors. So, dear friends, here by the convex mirrors, only two kinds of images are formed. When the light ray is coming from infinite distance, then images formed on the convex mirror are diminished. They are very smaller in size as you will take the object away from the convex mirror. See, this is the principal axis and object is kept at infinite distance from the convex mirror. The light rays which are falling parallelly to the principal axis will get diverged and they will appear to pass through the focus, and the light ray which is passing from the principal axis will straightly get reflected, and if you will extend it, you will observe here this type of appearance that light rays are getting intersected at focus of the convex mirror. Since the object's reflection is very point in size, very small in size, and it will form point image at the focus. This is virtual and erect image. And the second way of formation we will see shortly. Just observe. Here objects is placed at infinite distance from the convex mirror. We cannot obtain image on the screen. We will be seeing very point, you can see there, point diminished image. Now, the second type of images formed through the convex mirrors. Generally, when the object is placed at any distance in front of the convex mirror, their images are formed always virtual. The images will form behind the surface of mirror. You can observe here. However you will move, the images will be virtual only. So when object is placed in front of the convex mirror, the light rays gets reflected and they appear to meet at the surface of the mirror, means behind the mirror, and will form the images which are virtual and erect images. Any finite distance object will form diminished or small images when they are placed between pole and focus. These images are virtual and erect. Keep in mind the ray diagram as well as the images, how they are formed. If you will move this object near to the convex mirror, convex mirror is the diverging mirror and always form virtual erect images. And these images are smaller in size. Just draw this chart and ray diagram in your notebook, as well as draw the chart of all the details of image formation through the concave mirror with their ray diagrams. Let us differentiate between real and virtual images. Real images are formed when reflected rays are actually meeting at a point, while virtual images are formed when reflected rays meet on producing them backward, means they are not actually meeting but they are appearing to meet. The second, real images are always inverted, while virtual images are always upright or erect. Real images can be obtained on the screen, while virtual images cannot obtain on the screen. Rather, they can obtain on the surfaces of the mirror, behind the surface of the mirror. One more point you can note here. Most of the images formed by the concave mirror are real images, while of the convex mirror are virtual images. Let us study uses of concave and convex mirrors. First, we will discuss uses of concave mirrors one by one. So, concave mirrors are used in vehicle headlights and torches. When the objects are placed on the focus of concave mirror, we can obtain the focus of light after reflection. So this type of reflection we can use in vehicle headlights and torch to get a focus of light. The second is shaving mirror. The concave mirrors are used as shaving mirrors. Since the curved and reflecting surface of the concave mirror forms magnified image, each and every spot of the face we can magnify and see and can make the clean shave. The third use is dental and ENT examination, that is ear, nose and throat examination by the doctors. Generally, doctors use on their head mirror to see the magnified images formed by concave mirrors. As well as when the flash of light falls, the concave mirror reflects the beam of light spotted at the particular point, which can easily helps the doctor to examine that particular organ. Concave mirrors are also used in the solar powered appliances like solar cooker, solar heaters, etc. Let us study uses of convex mirrors. Generally, convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors. Since the reflection of light is taking place in such a way that the images obtained by the convex mirror by diverging the light rays, and these images are erect images, that are upright images. Convex mirrors are also used for the security measures. in the banks, in the supermarkets and some companies. As a vigilance mirror to see the people entering or exiting in a particular area. The convex mirrors are also used as a reflectors. So altogether you can keep a note how the concave as well as convex mirrors are used. Here is the small homework for you. Complete all the questions related to today's topic from your textbook exercise. Don't forget to draw the light rays whenever they are necessary and whenever they are asked to draw. So here the chapter number 5 is completed. Thank you very much.